sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. The ball on the tee, we're set for football. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Henry again on second down. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first two plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Oh, the motion comes too late, and this is going to be a delay. So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. From the gun, Jackson. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
A first down carry for Henry. And he's across the 45. It'll be 2nd down.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
From the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6. Jackson going to keep it running right. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1? Well, sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw a defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
Jackson now. That is caught. He's into space past the 25 and down to the 19-yard line. A big play that time on the catch and run. 36 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Oh, and they sent the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Henry. 4 yards there on the carry, gets it back to 2nd and 11.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Oh, the motion comes too late, and this is going to be a delay. Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
Here's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. So the completion results there in 9 yards. 3rd and 7 now.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Now that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
So 4th down coming up. John Harbaugh sent on the field goal unit. This just 32 yards officially from the right hash. And his kick is indeed good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well. So your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. This one swung out to Williams. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Finding Williams once more, complete. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the 1st down. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
He gets this to Devontae Adams. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I like his awareness in the pocket there. Nowhere to go with the football. So instead of forcing it to the sideline, he's just going to put this one into the harbor and live to fight another down without getting wet.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Stafford. Open man, that's Puka. And he is going to have a Rams 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Again, it's Stafford. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Williams. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now Stafford. Screen play set up for Williams. Room to maneuver at the 35. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 33. The 3rd down conversion successful. A gain of 11. Well, they're not hiding who their central focus is on offense. Charles, he already now has 4 receptions here on this opening drive.
And I know people who are watching the game are thinking, did they forget about him in the defensive game plan? But it's actually been the opposite. They're giving him a lot of attention, but he's been very creative and savvy in his route running and finding seams and openings in order to create these completions.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. 2nd down coming up.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
To the air again, Stafford. He'll get this one complete to Atwell. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
3rd and 3. They'll run it for the first time with Williams. Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Again, it's Williams. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They need 12 here. It's 3rd down. Back to throw, Stafford. Looking middle, and that's complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
Line of scrimmage, the 2. They can still get a 1st down if they just get a yard out of this on 4th and very short. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Kyron Williams taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Rams' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So they only needed a couple of feet there on 4th down, but they got more than that and then some as he takes this into the end zone.
And I love your description right there, right? 4th and short. They got that. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it. Finish it off in the end zone. Touchdown. Everyone goes away happy on that one.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed,
right?
Yeah,
a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So the delay of game penalty backs him up. It's now 2nd and 7. Now Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
That was an okay hookup there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
This now a 3rd and 4. To throw is Jackson. They set up the screen to Hill. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Off the option, here's Henry. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. From midfield now, here's Jackson. Incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. To the right side, into the hands of Flowers. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Flowers going to go in motion right. Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. Oh, and that is well read defensively. A great job of setting the edge, and that little touch pass going to turn into a loss. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
And Jackson throwing once more. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on second down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
Now it's Jackson. Gets this one to Hill. And so close, he gets it to the one. Out of bounds right there. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a first and goal.
There's Flowers. He's got it. Touchdown, Ravens. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Ravens have regained the lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Got a man open. It's Tyler Higbee. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
3rd down and 1. They'll fake the jet sweep and instead give up the middle to Williams. And Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
So on 4th down, on is Ethan Evans to punt for the Rams. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
They go play action with Jackson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Second down and 4. Flowers going to go in motion right. Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he will cover up as he's touched down after a short gain. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. In motion, the tight end. From the gun, Jackson. Slings it to Andrews, and it's complete. The tight end has it. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
From the gun, it's Jackson. This is caught. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Henry will take this into the end zone. It's a Ravens touchdown.
You think back to some of the great goal line bruisers of the past, the Earl Campbells, the John Riggins, the Marshawn Lynches. I think you can put Derrick Henry right in that group as he scores there with another patented Derrick Henry run.
Extra point attempt here still to come. It's good to make it 17-7. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. L.A. readies for its next possession. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive 1st and 10. Now a play fake it at Stafford. Open man is Atwell, complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll stay on the ground with Williams to about the 40-yard line.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd and 8. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And a quick throw here. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 5. And now it's 3rd and 3. From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 43. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Here's Stafford. He'll drop this down to Williams. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Again, it's Stafford. A quick throw there is incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Now Stafford. Going to be taken in here by Nakua. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Stafford. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Stafford looks to throw again. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Third and 4. Now it's Stafford. This is caught by Williams. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. So on 4th down, Sean McVay going to send out the field goal unit. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And his kick here is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Here's Jackson to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 1 touchdown is the difference. 17-10 our score, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter.
Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went in at the half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd down and 9. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams.
Yeah, he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
Here comes the Rams punter now as he's on here to punt it away. "39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Buying time to his left. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
And, Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's Jackson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Jackson now. That is caught. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Got to try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand.
All right, a great read by the secondary. They come up to stop that touch pass before it can even get back to the line. The defensive coordinators love that. You got a cornerback willing to stick his nose in there, come up on run support, and stop that pop pass dead in its tracks.
And, partner, one good thing about trying to defend that play, you should see it coming the whole way. You see the receiver coming in motion in your direction. Nice job eluding the blocker, making the play behind the line of scrimmage, but an even better job studying the play before you have to try and defend it in a game.
And the Ravens are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
When a drive goes this long, you have to give a lot of credit to the guys up front, those big fellas, because the offensive line is putting something together that allows them to continue to control the ball. And I know a lot of people think they get fatigued on a long drive. Actually, a lot of times the reverse happens. They actually get energized because they're controlling the ball, and they're the ones dictating to the defense.
And did he get the feet down? Yes, touchdown. Derrick Henry. He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Ravens have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. Take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game, so they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And running with power here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10.
At the 33-yard line.
He'll hand this to Williams to start things out.
And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Just beating the play clock. Stafford.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Stafford. Flushed out right. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
And defensively, they had an extra defensive back on the field, their nickel package, and it made a difference. All the receivers were blanketed, so he tried to run for it, but he came up just a bit short.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They begin with Henry. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
2nd down, they go again with Henry.
And the Rams defense gets to him again behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him, and he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
A throw out wide caught by Hopkins. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Again, Jackson.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Considering they've seen him have some big gains against them throughout this game, that's got to feel like a measure of revenge as they trap him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. This time, Jackson will throw it. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Stafford now to throw. It's caught here by Adams.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
Stafford. He goes right back to Adams. That's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st.
A shotgun snap for Stafford.
Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Looked like they were set up defensively in a zone coverage, but somehow they found a seam because that receiver all alone. By rights, that should have been a touchdown, but somehow this ball's overthrown.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go on 4th. Stafford.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Rams first down. And they convert in style right there. A big play on 4th and long.
4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Throwing is Stafford. And that's complete to Adams. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Off of play action, here's Stafford. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A.
Puka Nacua.
23 yards for the touchdown.
And the Rams have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession.
Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8.
First carry now for Justice Hill. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Throwing is Jackson.
A short throw caught by Andrews.
And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10.
Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10.
At their own 20-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw is Stafford.
Open man is Atwell, complete.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here comes the Rams punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
A short throw caught by Andrews. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10.
At the 20.
He'll look to Williams to begin things.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
He'll find a man over the middle, Tutu Atwell.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Well, this is caught by Williams. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a 1-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
2nd down and a yard.
Here's Stafford.
Going to be taken in here by Nakua.
That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
To the air again, Stafford.
To the right side and complete to Atwell.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Rams, they are on the move. They've got another first down.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another first down.
Now it's Stafford.
He's going to find Atwell open downfield.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Back to throw, Stafford. And he will throw this one out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
Great coverage down in the end zone. He's scanning the field, looking. No one ever came open. So in the end, he makes the best decision and just fires it over the end line.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Now Stafford to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. He's got it. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin 4th quarter. You're going.
Here we go. The noise deafening. 4th and goal.
They snap it to Stafford. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Davante Adams. A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Rams have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like,
yeah, doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Baltimore about ready to go on offense.
Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Inside handoff, Henry. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
At this point in the second half, a gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here.
They'll try and choose some clock with Henry.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46.
Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. A 20th carry now for Derrick Henry.
Down to about the 45.
The Rams going to be forced to use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Off the option, here's Henry.
Fights off the defender.
And he has the Ravens first down, and it would appear that that's going to be the one to do it. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it. Well, taking that knee, maybe just a sigh of relief. They withstood a big fourth quarter comeback. Able to hold on, though.
Certainly looked like they had things going their way, didn't it? In the fourth quarter, they had to just hold on. As you said, furious assault on them, but they were able to get it done, take a knee, and head to the locker room with a win.
A couple more minutes, and maybe the outcome of this one, Charles, would have been different, but ultimately time runs out on the comeback, so it falls short, and they hold on to win this by just one possession.
Not the fourth quarter they wanted, but they did earn the win, and they'll be happy about that, and they should be. Now they're going to go back to practice, see what they can do to prevent a future lead from slipping away like this one was.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.